ungrateful cat. Do you see what she does to me? The cat just did a really cute stretch. I felt like I was experiencing the apocalypse. It's making me feel like the main character of a horror movie. What's up, guys? My name is Natalie, and welcome to my Nook of Novels. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a closet clean out. So basically, for every single chapter that I read today, I'm going to be getting rid of one thing. So this could constitute a myriad of categories. Mostly like my main focus, the thing I'm going to be starting with today is clothing. So I'm going to be starting by going through like the clothes in my closet and my dresser and just seeing what I want to get rid of. So obviously, again, like the goal is to get rid of something for every chapter. I don't know how many that's going to be honest with you. The more the better is kind of my thought process, but honestly, I don't know even what I want to get rid of yet. So I haven't really done like a pre-look through my closet or anything to kind of get an idea of things. There's a couple things that have been like sitting in the back of my brain as like things I do generally want to get rid of, but aside from like one or two things, there's nothing for sure that I really know of until I go and look in the closet and see for myself. So shirts, dresses, things like that. I'm not going to be getting rid of any like shoes or anything, I don't think, because I do have a lot of pairs of shoes, but I really like having a lot of shoes and I don't really keep ones for very long that I'm not like attached to or like don't have like a purpose to have. So I wouldn't imagine that we're going to be delving into that. And then there's also just some general things in like the top of my closet kind of area that is kind of stuff that I just kind of put up there to store. So some of that I probably don't necessarily need to hang on to either. So that being said, I'll go ahead and jump into the books that I'm reading for this video. So my main current reads of the moment are Ruin by John Gwynne and What If 2 by Randall Munroe. So what I've been doing is I've been reading a chapter of Ruin and then 2 chapters of What If 2. But for the sake of this video, just so that I can make more progress in like cleaning out my closet, I am just going to be reading What If 2 because these chapters are very short and quick and they fly by very, very quickly. And the Ruin chapters aren't long by any means. Like they're also relatively short, but where it is like a high fantasy book, it kind of just takes me a little bit longer to get through those. So just because this one is like a lot simpler to read, it just goes faster. So I'm going to be focusing only on this book and prioritizing it. And it also would just be really nice to be able to make a ton of progress in this today and feel like I might be on the verge of finishing a book relatively soon once again. I haven't been reading this for an insanely long time at all. It's been like maybe a week or so and I'm like 2/5 of the way in. I would say this right here is how far in I am. So we're approaching the halfway point, but I would love to be like most of the way through this by the end of today. So yeah, now is honestly such great timing to be filming a video like this because this is something that I've had in my brain that I've been meaning to film for a few months now. I want to say I originally started planning it around July and then there was just a lot of other videos that I had really good ideas for at the time that I was kind of focusing more on, and so it just wasn't something that came up until around a month or so ago. I was planning to do this and then school just kind of got in the way and I didn't really have like a whole day where I could sit down and really focus on this video. So now I'm finally getting around to actually making it. The reason that I say like the timing is perfect, that like now is the time that I'm actually filming this, is because my roommate just moved out. There's like a lot of things that I'm already going to be kind of selling, mostly from the cat because the cat is still here. She's right here, but it's my roommate's cat. So she hasn't taken her with her or anything yet. And so all of the cat stuff is still kind of just around the house. And a lot of it is like stuff that I bought for her. So I am planning to sell a lot of that. Obviously like stuff that she needs, I'm going to send with the roommate, but there's a lot of extra things as well that she either doesn't need or doesn't use that I could like make money from, that I'd rather do that than, you know, send with this ungrateful cat who doesn't want it anyway. So that being said, I might kind of go through some of that a little bit later today and kind of show you guys the cat things that I'm going to be getting rid of, but most of everything else is just going to be clothes and things. The other reason that this is a great time to be filming this is because we're going to be moving in January, and so it's October right now when I'm filming this. It's like October 8th or so. I'm not really sure. It's the start of the month-ish. And so it's about 3 months away now when we're going to be moving, which isn't incredibly soon, but now is just a good time to go ahead and be like clearing things out and having a good idea of my belongings and kind of what is where and what all I'm going to be needing to move with me when we do eventually move. So yeah, that being said, some other general things I need to get done today. I have a couple homework assignments I need to do. So today is my last day of having class until next week. I mentioned this a few times, I'm sure, but the way that my school works, because I do online school, our semester is split into session A and session B. So we take 2 classes that are faster paced and then another 2 that are faster paced, or 3 depending on your schedule. I'm only taking 2 at a time right now. The 2 that I was just taking are wrapping up, and so today is the last day of those assignments. Technically the session ends on Friday, but my 2 final things are due tonight, so I will be getting those done today. And then my next session doesn't start until next Wednesday, so I have pretty much a whole week off, which is really nice because I wasn't expecting to have that much time away from classes. So it's nice to be able to have like a stretch of time to kind of catch up on things and get some other stuff done. That being said, it's not going to be a ton of time off of schoolwork necessarily, because Monday and Tuesday I'm going to be filming a 24-hour readathon, so I'll be busy during that, and then I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that pretty much just gives me Wednesday, Thursday of this week to be off. But I mean, not that I'm complaining at all, because I would so much rather like have that time to catch up on things. 2 days is so much time in the grand scheme of things when it comes to fitting things into my tight and busy schedule. It's so useful. I can do so many things in 2 days, so I'm very excited to have that time, A, to relax, and B, to catch up on everything. Like I said, I have those assignments that I need to finish up today. One of them is a research paper that this class is really weird when it comes to the papers in it. So basically, our rough draft, which I've already submitted, which was last week's assignment, you basically have to write a certain number of paragraphs about a topic, but you can't do any research at all and you can't have sources for it. But the final draft has to be 4 pages and have sources. So it's really weird. It's really awkward to write a draft that you know you're going to include research for later and not really know the facts of that research to include in the paper. So it's really awkward to write, but somehow I managed to do that twice within this session of the semester. But anyway, I need to add those sources and finish that paper up. It shouldn't be extremely difficult. I want to say I only have around a page or so left to finish up, so that's really nice. The other thing that's really awkward about it is like 8 paragraphs could be like such a wide range of pages, so it doesn't really have to be a certain length because your paragraphs could be any length. So it's just weird. It's really strange. It's a very like different assignment kind of process than I feel like any other class I've ever taken has done, but I digress. It's not that excruciating or anything, so I need to finish up that. And then my other assignment is literally just to like make a meme based on the class, so that should be extremely easy and that should not take me very long. I was honestly kind of considering just going ahead and finishing those up and then starting this video for today, but honestly I like to start my mornings off by reading because it gives me like a fun thing to do in the morning that I feel like really like gets my day started. And so I wanted to just go ahead and film this intro before I did anything else. It's around like 7:30 or so in the morning. I just wanted to get this out of the way so that I felt like I could really participate in this challenge throughout the entire duration of the day rather than like starting it later than I mean to and then barely getting anything done for it. So I just wanted to like, again, put all of my reading for the day into this. And yeah, so a couple other things I also need to do today are just kind of generally cleaning up. The house is a little bit messy right now. I cleaned up obviously over here so that I could film, but the other side of my room needs a little bit of work, and then the living room / kitchen area is somewhat of a disaster. So I need to put a little bit of effort into that. I need to clean up my roommate's old room. I need to like sweep in there and stuff. There's some furniture I kind of need to move out because some of the furniture in this house is stuff that we're like borrowing from our landlord, because when we first moved into the house, we had to move all of his stuff out. He has like a garage that is on the property that belongs to him. So we like moved everything into the garage, but he told us that we can still use any of his furniture. There's like some of the stuff here that belongs to him. So like our bed, my roommate's bed, we have like a table that our TV is sitting on that's the landlord's, and then there's like a mirror and a dresser in my roommate's room as well. So I'm gonna move all of her furniture out because now that it's just me and Venus in the house, I really want to still use that other room for something, because I really want to have every room in our house to be a room I like want to be in, you know? Like I want to be excited to go into every single room. So I want to do something with it. And as of right now, what we're going to do with that is we're going to put the Christmas tree up in there. Obviously it's only October right now, so that's not necessarily a right now thing. I'll probably do that after Halloween or something. But I do want to put some things in there. I'll probably put the litter box in there because it just works with the organization of the house. It just makes sense to put it in there. There's going to be a couple other things that I'm going to move into that room just to kind of give us more space like in other areas, but I don't think I'll have time to really do a lot with that room before we move out, just because I can't afford to buy like 100 pieces of furniture at once. But I do have some like mental images of things that I would love to do with an extra spare room in the grand scheme of things. So wherever we move to, we'll probably also have an extra bedroom that I can use my creativity and like transform into a fun room. So I've been keeping that in the back of my brain for right now. But yeah, that was completely off topic and not what I was trying to start talking about to begin with. But basically, I want to try to get some of that furniture moved out of there so that we can put that room to use. And yeah, so I need to like sweep and vacuum and mop in there and everything. But yeah, I also need to take out the trash because I meant to do that yesterday. Every Monday, I'm supposed to take the trash down to the curb, and I almost always forget to until it's like 11 p.m. and I'm not getting out of bed to go bring the trash down. Technically, it's supposed to be out by 6 a.m., but I think they come to our house on the route at around like 11 or so. So I do still have a couple hours. I was kind of just waiting until the sun came up before I went out there to do that because we have a really long driveway and we live in like a wooded kind of area. So I really didn't want to walk by the woods in the dark at like 6 a.m. when it can wait until there is light outside. So now that the sun is up, I'm going to do that soon. I'm going to have to like gather the trash from around the house. I feel so silly saying that because our house is not that big at all. It's like the bathroom and the kitchen is what I mean when I say that. And then there's some things I need to like pick up as well that needs to get thrown away so I can be really efficient and take everything at once. That's going to be one of my first tasks that I get done. But as of right now, I think the very first thing I'm going to do is just like sit and read and like, take a minute to relax, maybe make myself a coffee and just kind of mentally prepare for the day. And then I'll probably do the trash, and then I'll probably go ahead and start on my homework just so I can go ahead and have that knocked out. Something I've kind of been doing recently, or just trying to do to kind of get myself through my homework because I've been in such a reading mood, is kind of go back and forth between like my tasks. So like do one thing, read a chapter, do something else productive, read a chapter. And that really comes into play when I'm doing my homework a lot of the time. But when I'm writing a paper, I almost feel less productive by taking a break, because when I'm like really in the zone and I have like all my ideas, I'd rather go ahead and word vomit them out while they're still fresh, you know, while I still know what to say. And I honestly like, I also feel kind of stressed, like still thinking about the paper when I take a break from it, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need to get that paper done so I can submit it. So I will probably just sit down and do that like straight through and then come back out of that to do whatever else. So yeah, those are the plans. That's really everything I have to say for right now. That's what this video is gonna be. I'm very excited, like I said, to do some organization. I've been in a very organizational kind of mood the past couple days with my roommate moving out, trying to get everything out of the house. Again, this is such good timing to be filming this, and I'm very excited about it. I am gonna go ahead and go get to it, start making coffee, reading, and kind of getting a start to my day. So I will update you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I made my coffee and I just sat here and read 2 chapters of What If 2. I was planning on just reading one, and then I always, while I'm in the middle of the chapter, it's not that I'm like bored or anything. Like, I'm having a really good time with this book and it's really funny and I'm really enjoying this. But sometimes I'll be in the middle of a chapter and I'm like, you know what? I just don't really want to be reading right now. And then I get to the end of the chapter and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep reading. It's just something I want to do. I think it's because I see the title of the next chapter and I'm always super intrigued by it, because if you guys don't know, this book, it's a nonfiction, and so people ask these like silly questions and the author answers them with like real science and basically just explains like what would happen if blah blah blah. So I'll read you guys the title of the 2 chapters I just read. So the first one says, when I was a child, I discovered that if I took a container into the swimming pool, I could fill it with water and then bring the container open and down to the surface of the water, and the water level in my container was higher than the water level in the pool. What would happen if you tried to do this with a giant container in the ocean? Could you create a giant aquarium on top of the water that the animals could swim in and out of freely? Maybe an irregularly shaped container that you could walk around on to get closer to the fish. And that's a really long one. Most of them are way shorter than that. That one was just a very detailed one. And then the second chapter I read was, if the earth were a massive eye, how far could it see? Most of them are more like that. Yeah, so I'll give some other examples. Can all the world's bananas fit inside all the world's churches? My friends and I have had this argument for a little over 10 years now. And then there was one that was, someone had said that their kid wanted to know, why can't we build like a 1 billion floor skyscraper? So it's just things like that. It's very funny, very interesting. And I feel smart reading it too, because he uses like real math and science to figure everything out. So it's a lot of fun. But that being said, I read those 2 chapters and now it's time to get rid of 2 things out of my closet. I already know what the first thing is going to be just because I've had it sitting in my brain, but I'm going to have to find a second thing to get rid of as well. The first one that I already had in my brain was this shirt. So I got this off Shein. I got both of these off Shein when I was doing like this big order of just black shirts that I could wear to work. And I no longer work at that place anymore, so I don't need these shirts for work anyway. But even when I did, these aren't things that I wore, because once I got them and tried them on, I very quickly realized that these are not things that I would ever wear under any circumstances. So this is the first one. It looked cute online, and then it came in and I did not think it was cute anymore. So this is the first thing to go. And then the second thing is this one. I realized once I put it on, I realized I probably shouldn't wear this to work, A, and B, it kind of just looked awkward on me. This thing, I don't know if y'all ever put on a jacket that's like slightly too long and the zipper kind of bunches up and does that weird lumpy thing. This kind of did that and it looks extremely awkward on me. So I am getting rid of this one as well. Hey y'all, so it's now 12:34. I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update on everything that's happened since we last spoke. Not a lot of things. So I went to take the trash down, and while I did that, the birds outside were going absolutely crazy. And I was so, like, it was scary because all of them were like squawking so loud. It was literally like thousands of birds squawking in the trees, and they were like flying away at different times. It was creating this like snapping sound effect, like from the trees, like lifting off their branches, and they were like moving. So it's like branches moving all over the place. And so I don't know why my first instinct is always forest fire. All the time I'm like, oh, like the forest must be on fire, even though there's no reason for that. It's literally like getting cold outside. I don't know why it would be, but that's just always what I think and assume. And like hearing all the snapping sounds, I was like, fire question mark? But it was just from the birds making sound. But I was so confused because also like, why would all the birds be doing that if there wasn't a forest fire? But probably because it was about to storm, which like is the more logical explanation. But it was so strange because it kind of, they started doing it like all at once, and then all the birds were gone, and then it was completely quiet, and it still wasn't raining yet. And I don't think it did rain for a while. I don't even know. It's not raining right now. I'm sure it was at some point, but it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't like storming or anything. So it was kind of confusing. I was like, I don't really know what that was about, but whatever. So that was fun. I felt like I was experiencing the apocalypse for a minute, so love that for me. But then I came back inside and I read another chapter of the book, which we're gonna pick out our closet item for that right now. And then I took a nap. Well, I ate something and then I took a nap. Something that I do a lot of the time with my sleep schedule is, so I'll get up at 5 a.m. when my boyfriend gets up for work, and depending on like when I went to bed the night before, I'll either just stay awake during the day or I'll take a nap like somewhere between 8 and noon. And I usually will wake up around noon no matter what. No matter what time I fall asleep. So I kind of like nap depending on how many hours of sleep I got the night before to make sure I'm getting enough sleep but not like sleeping more than necessary, if that makes sense, and like wasting my day away. So I went to bed around 9:30, I want to say. Actually, I slept until 11:30, not 12, I think. I've done a couple things since then. I like put eye drops on my eyes because my makeup probably looks like crazy now that I've been asleep. Not like crazy, but it like definitely messed up my mascara on this side. I tried to fix it, but it's just what we're working with now for the rest of the day, which is fine. That's what I get for taking a nap with makeup on. My contacts also got so dry, so I had to like put eye drops in. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all. But I also realized today that I do this all the time, and I literally don't know how or why, but I completely forgot to put Shape Tape on under my eyes, which is, it's like a concealer. It is a concealer. Anyway, ignore me. But I use it mostly for like shading on my face, but I always put it under my eyes. But for some reason, so often I'll just forget the Shape Tape. And I don't know how. I don't know why this happens, because it's like such a crucial part of my makeup look. And so I'm like looking at my face and I'm like, what's going on here? What am I missing? Which is fine. I feel like it gives a more almost natural look, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you can see a lot more of like my freckles and stuff than usual. I don't know if I'm crazy. I'm just trying to see the bright side of things, but it's fine. I'm not like upset about it. It's not the end of the world or anything, but I was just like, oh my gosh, how do I keep doing this? Like, I don't understand. So there's that as well. That's pretty much everything I have to update y'all on for right now. I got some very exciting news earlier, which I can't really share with y'all. It's not like book related at all, but just about some things going on in my life right now. But I got some very, very good news. It's not even like I was gonna get there eventually. I don't even know how to explain it without telling you guys what it is, but I basically just received a piece of information that I've been like really, really digging around for and was not able to find, and I finally found it, and now I can do some things with that. So yeah, I'm excited. I'll probably explain that at some point on this channel. It's not really anything I can discuss right now, not right now, but one of these days I might fill you guys in on that. So yeah, without further ado though, I'm gonna go ahead and choose my next item from the closet. The bed is getting a little messy, please ignore that. I was sleeping under the covers, and then I just have some other things sitting on the bed. Okay, this is the next shirt that's going to go. I got this from the Cheerleading World. Obviously, it says Cheer and Dance World on it. It has this little like opening in the back, but it's very see-through, and this really just isn't a shirt that I wear a lot for really any reason. If I'm gonna wear a little tank top, then I'm just gonna wear something that's not like this. Like, it's kind of big on me, and so it's like awkward to wear with a lot of things, and I guess I could wear this with leggings and it wouldn't be bad, but just the type of tank top that this is, it's just not really my style of thing to wear. I don't know, the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking like, oh, I could put that with so many outfits. But I've had this for years and I never have, so I just don't think anything is going to change about that at this point. The few times I've worn this was while I was painting, which is when you wear clothes that you don't really care about, which I feel like is a good sign that I don't really need to hang on to this shirt anymore. So I'm gonna be sad about it a little, I think, but I do think that this is a really good one to go ahead and get rid of. So I'm gonna put this in the pile. If like throughout the day I'm looking at it and it just makes me really sad and I'm like, dang, I want to keep that, then obviously we can go back and change my mind. But I just think that the pile is a good spot for that one to go. I also have a box up in the corner that I'm gonna dig down to put things in. I've literally been keeping that box since we moved because I thought at some point I'm gonna go through my stuff and need a box to put things in, and so I kept it. We also have a box in the other room of things that are gonna be donated, which has been sitting there for a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and donate that at some point. I just have had a long list of to-dos, so that's that for right now. I should go ahead and sort on my paper. What I want to do instead though is clean, because I feel like I keep having to film from the same corners and crevices of the house for this vlog because everything else is so messy, and I'm like, I cannot bring myself to take you guys with me into this room full of stuff, you know what I mean? So I feel like I should clean first to make things easier for this vlog. But then I don't want to like clean and then run out of energy and not want to work on my paper. But at the same time, I'm like not in a very homework mood right now. And so I think that maybe later in the day, I might be more so. And if not, then I might go buy a Dutch roast coffee. And that might like kick me into gear. I don't know why. Something about going and like getting an iced coffee from somewhere makes me feel more productive. And I know you guys are probably thinking like I just made coffee a little bit ago. Honestly, it tasted really weird. Recently I've been putting hot chocolate in my coffee. I've been like mixing hot chocolate and instant coffee and then coffee making water into that. But it's been tasting really good. So I think I might try to do that. Putting actual coffee in the hot cocoa, I feel like it'll do like the same kind of thing. But it'd be less like excruciatingly hot for whatever reason when it's first made. And then I think that'll taste good. But I don't know. I think it was just really jarring to drink that coffee earlier without hot chocolate in it. When I've been putting hot chocolate in them for the past week or so, it just tasted weird to me. I don't know if it was that or I didn't put enough milk or flavoring or what, but I don't know. It was just really strange and I was not vibing with it. So I did not drink very much of that. So that's what I'm thinking. I might go ahead and start cleaning though, because that's what my heart is telling me that I want to do for right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaning and I'll update you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so it's about 4 p.m. now and I haven't done any more reading. I spent an hour doing unrelated semi-productive things. Semi-unproductive, I would say. It was stuff I was gonna have to do eventually, but it wasn't really anything that needed to be done today. I just kind of got excited and went ahead and did some things, but I'm finished with all of that for today. And after that, I sat here and finished up my research paper. It was a lot easier. Aww, the cat just did a really cute stretch. The paper was a lot easier to do than I was anticipating. I literally got to the end and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to fill up another half a page, and then realized it wasn't double spaced. So then I did double space it and I had plenty of words and they filled up all the pages they needed to. The guidelines for the assignment were so silly because it's a problem solution essay, but you have to answer all these very specific questions about the image itself. So you have to answer all of the stuff about what's in the foreground versus the background of the image, if there's any contrasting elements and things like that, and you have to number them. You have to like answer every single of these 8 questions about the photo in order, and also somehow be talking about a problem versus solution with research evidence. So it's a lot of things that don't really fit together well, but I managed it a lot simpler than I was anticipating. So that was good. And now I'm finally done with that. It took me a while to figure out the works cited page because I only had 4 sources, but one of them was a textbook image and I was trying to cite it as an image, but that wasn't really working for my citation. So I had to cite it just as the textbook instead, which I think is fine. And then I also had one that was a book chapter that I had to figure out. And I think I ended up just citing that as the whole book as well. So it was confusing, but I figured it out in the end. Now I'm completely done with that class, which is really exciting. And then I still need to do my meme discussion thing, but I just don't feel like doing that right now. I don't anticipate that it's going to take me very long at all. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a break. I have the hard and stressful assignment done with now. So I'm going to sit here and read 3 or 4 chapters or so, get some things organized in my closet, get rid of some things, and then I'll come back and finish up that other assignment. Okay, so I sat here and read 5 chapters since we last spoke. I also snacked a little bit more while I was sitting here. I am still a little hungry, but so the thing is, I have these white cheddar Cheetos in the console of my car, and I really want to go outside and get them, but I'm like scared to go outside because like there was the thing with the birds earlier, and then at some point I literally swear I heard someone knocking on my front door, and I went over there and there was nobody there. So I don't know if it was just the cat. I'm sure it was. She probably like punched something and it like sounded like there was like a knocking, but I don't know. I'm scared of the outdoors now because the knocking and the birds going crazy earlier, it's making me feel like the main character of a horror movie, and I'm like wondering if this is even real. So I've been trying to avoid the outdoors at all costs, but my boyfriend should be home in the next couple hours, so I should be able to last until then without going outside. But in the meantime, I've read 5 more chapters, so this seems like a great point to me to go ahead and can get rid of 5 of my belongings. I also want to point out that I'm now halfway through this book, which makes me so excited. I feel like I haven't read all that much. It's been like 8 chapters, but every single chapter is like really short. It's like 4 or 5 pages for the most part. So by that math, I've probably read around 40 pages so far, which again isn't a ton, but I do definitely feel like I have been making some really good progress today, which makes me very excited. Over to the closet we go now to pick out some things. So I have stuff in here. I also have some laundry like in baskets and stuff, but I feel like everything that's in baskets I'm not too worried about looking through right now, because if it's in a basket it means I've worn it recently, so I wouldn't imagine I would be planning to get rid of anything that I've worn recently, because that means I am actively actually wearing it, so there's not really much point in getting rid of it. And again, I still have a bunch of stuff in my dresser right here as well. So actually the dresser might be a good spot to start. Okay, I'm really indecisive when it comes to a lot of these clothes, but I feel like this is a good one. Oh, I forgot I have to pick out 5 things. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the first one. It's just this white floral dress, but it's kind of awkward. So when I wear it, basically this part in the middle right here, it kind of just like does this thing. It like sags down and looks weird. It's supposed to have extra fabric here so it can fold right here and like look cute, but it kind of just doesn't. And I have never worn this, I don't think, since I got it. I might have worn it once or twice, but I really just don't like it that much. It's not really my vibe. So, and I've had it for probably like 3 or 4 years now, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. As I'm looking in here, I'm seeing things that I'm not really sure if I'm gonna wear them a lot, but the thing is, we're like approaching like the colder winter season, and some of this stuff I haven't really had during the cold season, especially because I didn't bring all of my clothes with me when I was living in a dorm last fall semester. So I want to at least give some of these clothes a chance and see if I like gravitate towards them once it starts getting cold outside. Like I have this one black sweater in here that I've only ever worn it to work, but now I don't need it for work anymore, but it's getting cold outside, so I feel like I would wear it if I'll remember that it's in here. Okay, I have another 2 right here. So there's this one. I've only ever worn this once. I got it from my ex-roommate and it's cute. I feel like it's my vibe. I just don't really have a lot that I would wear this with. I'm starting to think now maybe I want to keep this because I feel like it is really cute, but it just doesn't really go with a lot of stuff that I have. So maybe I'll keep this for now and I'll think about it. I don't know. Some of my cuter stuff, I just don't really have like a reason to wear it, which doesn't mean I want to get rid of things because I don't have a reason to wear them. Because if they're cute, they're cute, you know? But that's one that I don't know if it's cute enough to justify having, if that makes sense. But this one I definitely want to get rid of. I've had this for a really long time. I wore it a lot during like my freshman year of high school, but I mean, I feel like it's been washed so many times that it like just doesn't fit me right anymore, and this is not a shirt that I actively reach for. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. That's 2 down, 3 to go. Okay, I'm also going to get rid of this jacket. It's just a jacket, but I have others that I like more, and I just don't really care to keep this one. 2 more things. Okay, this one makes me a little sad. It's this really cute, also a jacket, but I don't wear this, and I don't think that there's any circumstance in which I would. It's not that warm. It doesn't really go with a lot of the stuff that I have. Technically, it matches with this one pair of pants over here. They're just these like white pants in the same like material as this, but I can't really wear them together because then it looks like my clothes are way too big for me. But if I wear that with a smaller top, or if I wear this with tighter pants, then they look good like on their own, but together they look weird. But I do think that this is so cute. I just don't wear it, and I just don't feel like I will under any circumstances. I feel like I have other things that I just would wear way more than this, and I feel like I would rather someone have this who's genuinely going to wear it. So that's number 4. This is another one I'm gonna have to think about. It's like kind of see-through and it's small, but I have this like bralette that looks really good with it. And when I wear this with my black jeans, I feel like it's a vibe. So I'm gonna keep it for now. Same with this though. Like I feel like this looks really good with my black jeans. And if I wear like the right top underneath it. So, oh, this is a really easy one. It's just this like black tank top. I literally have had this since I was 10 years old, I think, and have had no reason to wear it since then. So I'm gonna get rid of this as well. Okay, so those are my 5 things for these last 5 chapters. I'm gonna put them in the box with the other things for now, and then I think I'm gonna get back to doing my last homework assignment. Ah, kitty, do you see what she does to me? Hey y'all. So it's been a little bit since the last hello, since the last update, and I finished up my last homework assignment. It was literally so easy. It took me like less than 10 minutes. It was literally just make a meme about your experience with life for this class or whatever. So yeah, I did the one where it's like a dog like sitting in the house that's on fire, and I made him say, "This is a nice ambiance," and so that was my last assignment. And yeah, so now I'm done with school until next week. Woot woot. And then I cleaned up. I like tidied up in the living room and everything, which took me way less time than I thought. It was literally a train wreck out there. It looked so messy, but now it looks way better. I did some dishes as well. We went to grab a couple things from the store as well. And while we were out, I read 5 chapters. So that means there's 5 more things that I can get out of this closet. And my boyfriend's actually going to bed right now. So this is the last clip that I'm going to get actually like in the closet. So just beware, but I will still like come in here and get things and like show you guys. I'm just going to show you out there in the living room so that I'm not disturbing him and not letting him sleep. But after this, I am going to like really lock in and try to read as much as I can. And honestly, the book is so easy to fly through. So I really do plan on flying through it and reading so much of it. So just honestly as much as I can read before I fall asleep tonight is going to be my goal. I guess for right now, it's time to grab some more things out of here. Okay, I have a couple things in mind already. I don't know if these really count because I kind of already knew in my brain that I was going to get rid of these, but I will count them just for the sake of this video. So one of them I'll show you guys in a minute. It's in the other room right now, but it's a makeup palette actually. It's like a little eyeshadow palette, but it's the like Sweet Tart palette, and I actually don't like it. It doesn't stay on my eyes very well, and I just don't ever use it. I have other palettes that I like way more and that have better shades that just look better on me, so I am getting rid of that one. It's also missing one of the eyeshadow things because it fell on the floor at some point, and I could not for the life of me find where the other eyeshadow color went. So it's a palette of 8 out of 9 colors, which is fine. So I'm getting rid of that. So that's going to be my first thing out of 5. My second thing is going to be these non-slip shoes. These things, I wore them for quite a while and they worked well, but then my knees really hurt when I'm working sometimes. So I got these soles to put in them, but they blistered my feet, and I had to literally carve the other soles out of these shoes with a knife in order to fit these soles in here. So I'm just going to sell these and see if somebody else wants them, because I paid a lot for these soles and I really want to get my money's worth out of them since I can't wear them. So this is the next thing that's going to go. So that's 2 out of 5. Number 3 is all the way up there, and I kind of don't feel like getting it right this second. So I'm going to wait, but there's a third thing that I will show you guys in just a couple minutes. Now I'm going to dig around for a 4th item. Apparently I have another just blank black tank top in here, which is just not something that I wear. So this is going to be my item number 4. And then I think my item number 5 is going to be this dress. It makes me a little sad, but I literally think I've worn this dress once before. I don't know. I feel like I'm not like a white dress kind of girly. I prefer bright colors and things. I guess this could be useful if I ever needed to wear a white dress for something, but at that point I feel like I could just go buy one that I like more than just a boring polka dot dress, you know? So I'm gonna get rid of this one. So this is gonna be my item number 5. And then I'll show you guys those other 2 things in the other room. Okay, so I acquired the 5th item out of the closet, but then I found a couple other things while I was in there as well. So I figured I may as well go ahead and grab those while I was up there in the top of my closet. The 5th item that I originally was thinking of was this foot bath thing. It has these different things to put in the middle too to like massage your feet, but honestly like this is just so large. I know I got this for a Christmas present a couple years ago and I have used it a few times. It is pretty relaxing, but at the same time like it's so large and like kind of awkward to store, and then to actually use it, it's so much work to get it all the way out, fill it with water, wait for the water to get warm, and then use it and then dry it out and put it away and all that. Like it's just a lot for the sake of relaxation. And I feel like at that point I would rather just sit down or like lay in bed or something and not do all of that just to then relax. So I just feel like there's better options for me. I feel like it's a lot more work than it's worth sometimes. And so I'm gonna get rid of this. While I was up there in the closet, I also found these 2 plant pots, and they hold the water in, I think, and release it a little at a time so that you don't like accidentally drown your plants. And I got these because I have this one desert plant, but it's one that reproduces really, really quickly. And so there's a lot of baby plants of those. And so I got like a bigger pot because I wanted to move it into something that it could keep reproducing and not be too condensed into the one tiny pot that it's in right now. That being said, I really don't think that I need 2 plant pots. I feel like 1 is plenty, possibly more than enough. So I think I'm just gonna hang on to this blue one and get rid of this other one because I don't foresee me using these both. I'm gonna get rid of that. And also this picnic blanket that I got while I was in college. It's just a weird texture. I can just use blankets as picnic blankets, but I can't use a picnic blanket as a blanket. So I just feel like there's not really a good reason for me to hang on to this. So this is gonna go as well. That being said, because I'm tossing those 2 extra items, I'm gonna go ahead and read 2 more chapters, and those are just gonna count for those items that I just got rid of. And then this right here is my Sweet Tart. It's the Frosted Sugar Rush palette, and this is what all the colors in it look like. It has like a candy smell to it, but it's one of those where it smells like super artificial candy to me, and I just don't think that it smells appetizing in any way. They're like fine shades, like they are things that I would potentially wear if I felt like they stayed on my face better, but they just don't. So I don't really see a great reason to hang on to this. So I'm going to get rid of it. And yeah, that's all the things for right now, but I'm gonna sit here and keep reading. So I keep accidentally finding more things to get rid of than the number of chapters that I read. So I read another 5 chapters just now, but 2 of them counted, like I said before, for the extra 2 things I got rid of before. So that left me now with 3 things I needed to get rid of, and I found 4 instead. So 2 of them were just the same pair of shorts. They're just these spandex shorts. I have Reebok ones that I just like more because it's like a stretchier material that just fits better, and I don't need that many spandex anymore now that I'm not doing cheer. I pretty much just wear them like under skirts and things now, so I just don't need as many. I also have this purple pair of shorts. I think I got these from a thrift store or something, and I was like, ooh, those are a nice color, I'll wear them, and then I just never did. They're just not really my vibe with like the shorts underneath kind of thing. I don't know, I just don't really like these, so I'm gonna get rid of those. And then I found this sports bra that is a Reebok one as well, but it just doesn't really fit me right anymore. It's cute though, it has like all the cross stuff on the back, but it just doesn't really fit me. And then these shorts that I think they're really cute. They're from Myrtle Beach, but these just also don't really fit me well anymore either. So all of those are also going to go in the box. Okay, so I read 6 more chapters, which means 6 more things to get rid of. And so I was ahead one thing, right? Like I grabbed one more thing to get rid of before than the chapters I read, but as I was sitting here reading, I realized that I missed a chapter from earlier because so I was looking at just the chapter numbers, but there's also short bits in between some of these chapters. Some of them say weird and worrying, and some of them say short answers, and those aren't numbered chapters, they're just little in-between bits. So I forgot to include those. So I actually, if I included the one that I skipped before, I was at the right amount of things. So when I read 6 more chapters just now, I got 6 more things to get rid of. I did want to talk about something real quick within one of the chapters that I read that I just thought was really, really funny. And coincidentally, I just accidentally turned to the exact page from that. This chapter says, could you get drunk from drinking a drunk person's blood? And he's talking about the fact that you have to drink a lot of blood to do that, and then you'd pretty much just throw up. And so he says, if someone had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.4 and you drank all 14 glasses of their blood in a short amount of time, you would throw up. And then it says, I don't want to draw someone throwing up a gallon of blood, so here's a squirrel instead. And then he just drew a squirrel, which I thought was funny. And so then on the next page, he said, there's not a huge amount of medical literature on the subject, but anecdotal evidence from some particularly alarming internet forum posts suggests that any normal person who tries to drink more than about a pint of blood will vomit, as you can see from this illustration. And then it's just the squirrel again, which that made me laugh a lot, multiple times. In fact, I found that to be very, very funny. I'm now on page 244, and I do still want to keep reading tonight. I don't know how much energy I'm gonna have left in me. I might have to update you guys in the morning with the rest of my things that I get out of my closet slash dresser slash generally from my bedroom, but I do want to keep reading. I feel like I have so much energy to continue with this book right now, but I don't know how much energy I have to keep updating this vlog and going back and digging through my things. So we'll see. I might have to choose the rest tomorrow, but as of right now, here are the rest of my things that I chose for right now. So of those 6 chapters, there are 6 items right here. The first of them is just this little bracelet. I don't remember where I got it from. It might have been like a Christmas gift from someone at some point, but it's just this little like charm bracelet. One of them says Barbie, one of them has like the Barbie ponytail thing, and then some of the others, they're really small and I can't read them, but it's just a little charm bracelet. But I'm just not a big charm bracelet girly. I'm not a big bracelet girly in general, so I didn't really see a huge reason to hang on to this. I also just have a random par shirt. I have another random sweatshirt. This one is an Eric Church hoodie, but it's not that comfy and I haven't worn it in a really long time. And I'm just not as like obsessed with Eric Church as I used to be. I still think he's good, but I'm not obsessed anymore. So, and I haven't worn this hoodie in a long time, so there wasn't much reason to hang on to that. And then I have this shirt that says I'm 24% done. I just have never worn this, so I didn't really need that either. And then the last thing is this Roll Life kit that I got. I don't remember when I got this. I want to say it was around, I actually have no idea, but I didn't realize when I got this, but it is a glue one. You have to glue everything together, and I just could not be bothered to actually do this. I did like a tiny bit of it and then was so completely over it that I decided to give up and not partake in this anymore. So I'm gonna see if I can sell this, because I only did like a teeny tiny bit of it, and I don't know if someone else would want this because there's only a little bit done if I put it for cheap. So we'll see. If not, then I might just give it away or throw it away. Worst comes to worst, but I wanted to get rid of this as well. Hey y'all, so it's the next day and I just wanted to go ahead and kind of wrap up this vlog and show you guys all of the rest of the things that I pulled out of my closet last night once I got too tired to keep filming. Before I went to sleep last night, I ended up reading another 7 chapters. So here are the 7 other things that I'm getting rid of. So the first 2 things are these Rubik's Cubes. This is one of the ones that changes shape as you mix it up. But so the thing is, I used to know how to solve a Rubik's Cube back in like, I don't know, 8th grade or something. And I kept forgetting, and then I would relearn and be like, wow, this is so cool. I love having this skill. And then I would forget again. And honestly, it's just not something that I'm that attached to knowing how to do. And I don't really see much of a reason to keep my Rubik's Cubes. This one, I also knew how to solve because I used like the algorithms from this, and you kind of can just figure it out with this one because it's a very similar thing. And so I think it was cool knowing how to solve this one because it's like different than a normal Rubik's Cube. But at the same time, these have just been sitting and staring at me and taking up space for so long that there's really no point in me continuing to have them. So that's my first 2. The next one is just this makeup brush. I just don't use fan brushes for anything. It's just not something that I use. And so there was really no point in me continuing to have this. And that being said, I will throughout the next couple days still continue to go through the rest of my things. Pretty much all that I have left to go through, I want to say, is like mostly makeup stuff, because I think I'm pretty content with all of the clothes that I pulled out from my closet and my dresser. I think I'm good with the things that I am keeping and getting rid of in terms of those. So once I go through like all of my makeup products, I think I should have a pretty good purge in terms of all of my belongings. Now the rest of these are clothing items. So this first one is these sleeves. I got these because I thought they would go cute with this one dress, and then I never ended up wearing them with the dress, and now I just don't know that they would really even match very well. And I have like other sleeves like this that just look so much nicer and cuter, and I just really don't see any scenario in which I would ever wear these, and I never have. So I'm getting rid of these. I have another sparkly sports bra that I don't need. I have these more spandex shorts that I don't love, and then I have a beanie as well. I don't really wear beanies all that often. There's been a couple points in time where I'm like, ooh, let me start wearing a beanie, and then I just get tired of it and I don't continue to wear that. So those are my things. Also, I wanted to update y'all on the book. I ended up finishing it up this morning. I woke up when my boyfriend got up for work. I read the rest of it and then I went back to sleep. So I have finally finished with What If 2. I say finally, I haven't even really been reading it for very long, which is really exciting that I was able to finish it up this quickly. and I ended up giving it 4 stars. I thought it was so funny and so interesting and fascinating. I pretty much knew exactly what I was getting into because the first book I read and really enjoyed, so it's pretty much the exact same thing. Randall Munroe books are such a fun time, and they're definitely something that I would highly recommend if you're kind of more nervous about like reading nonfiction, or if you really like science or anything like that. I definitely think that it's a good one to jump into. So yeah, that is pretty much all for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to, and hit the notification bell if you would like to see the other videos that I post on Thursdays. Oh my gosh, I just realized I think I was supposed to do reading sprints this Monday and I forgot. I completely forgot about my reading sprints. You know what? I think I'll make them up this next Monday then. In the month of October, the reading sprints will be on the 2nd and the 4th Monday. I can't believe nobody said anything. Like, that's crazy. I don't know how I completely forgot about those. Oh my goodness. Things have been crazy recently, guys. It's been a wild time the last week or so. My apologies for forgetting about those. But anyway, I will make those up. So October reading sprints will be the 2nd and the 4th Monday of the month. Everything else going forward, reading sprints will always be the 1st and 3rd Monday of the month. My Bookstagram, my Goodreads, and my book talk will all be linked in the description of this video if you guys would like to check out any of those, as well as some of my most recent videos, such as my October Wheel of TBR and my entire spooky TBR. That's pretty much all. So thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye!